Good evening. I'm going to call the City Council Personnel Committee meeting to order. It is February 26th at 6:30 p.m. We have one item on the agenda this evening. It is order number 24-100-9084, communication from Mayor Dumas. 3 appointments to the Planning Board of Sean Fay, Barbara Fenby, and Christopher Russ for a 5-year term, respectively, to expire on February 5th, 2029. We'll start by reading the mayor's letter. Dear Council President Ossing and councilors, I am pleased to submit for your approval the reappointment of Sean Fay, Barbara Fenby, and Christopher Russ to the Planning Board. The terms of all 3 members expired last year under the prior administration. I have contacted each member and have agreed to continue for an additional term. According to City Ordinance 19-1, members of the Planning Board serve for 5 years with their terms expiring on the first Monday in February after the appointment. The term expirations of these members are as follows: Sean Fay, February 5th, 2029, Barbara Fenby, February 5th, 2029, and Christopher Russ, February 5th, 2029. These 3 members have served on the Planning Board since 2006, 1989, and 2018, respectively. With the important work the Planning Board performs, and with this being a critical time in Marlborough's history as it pertains to development, I believe their institutional knowledge to be incredibly valuable. Please do not hesitate to contact me or my office with any questions. Sincerely, J. Christian Dumas, Mayor. The members like to come to the well for questioning altogether. You guys want to come together? As everyone's coming to get situated, just a little bit of information on the Planning Board. In the City of Marlborough, the Planning Board is primarily concerned with any subdivision of land. It's the Planning Board's responsibility to ensure that every subdivision of land either meets or exceeds the requirements of Mass General Laws, Chapter 41, Section 81, Subdivision Rules and Regulations. The Board is also the special permit granting authority for any scenic road and open space subdivision granted under the authority of the zoning ordinance of the City of Marlborough, Chapter 650. Additionally, the Board reviews any requests for relief or variance from the city's sign ordinance. The Planning Board is made up of a 7-member board comprised of individuals appointed by the mayor and confirmed by the City Council. The current members of the Planning Board have a variety of professional backgrounds and areas of expertise. They are assisted by professional staff members and the Department of Public Works Engineering Division, the city's legal department, and the Inspectional Services Department. Good evening. Thank you all for being here. I just want to echo the mayor's gratitude. I want to thank him for sending these appointments down, and I want to thank the 3 of you for being willing to serve another term. I think most people know how valuable the work you do is. I don't know that they understand the details that the Planning Board provides. The City Council relies a great deal on your review on these topics. And whereas we don't always take all of the recommendations that are sent down from the Planning Board, we take them very seriously, and we do appreciate the time and effort that you put in to reviewing those. So with that said, I want to open it up perhaps to the chair, but to the 3 of you, if you'd just like to say a couple of words about your time on the Planning Board and why you are willing to continue to answer the call, and then we can open up for questions from the members and the rest of the council.
So first I want to thank the mayor for recommending us for reappointment and appreciate the confidence he's showing in us. So I've thoroughly enjoyed my time on the board, worked with some great people through the years, very much have benefited from the guidance from Dr. Fenby as a senior member of our board. This is, I think, a very important time for the city. We think we have some relatively large subdivisions coming, and I think having the board in its current membership is going to be very helpful in making sure that those developments are consistent with what the city needs moving forward.
Great. Anybody want to add anything else? Dr. Fenby?
Magic. Okay. I am also grateful to the mayor and as well grateful to those of you who managed to get me here. It has been a pleasure to have been on the planning board for as long as I have, but when I hear it said like that, it seems like I'm terribly old. And I do enjoy the work. and feel like I have a really good grasp of it, but also during the past 3 years, the board has really clicked and we're starting to do some actual planning and organization so that it's not flying by the seat of our pants every time we get something in front of us, thanks to Chris and George. And that really makes a big difference in consistency, which both Sean and I are very keen on having, because it's the only way that we can feel like the people see that we're honest and that we're not playing favorites, which I think is very important. And from my point of view, finally, I really feel like the board needs to have a variety of people on it, and as the only female, I'm staunchly there, and I'm hoping that in the future we'll have other people of different persuasions who are coming on the board. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Russ?
I'd like to echo both their thank yous to the mayor and everyone here. I enjoy being on the board. It helped me professionally, also helps me be part of the community and take part in some pretty special things for everything that Marlborough is.
Great. Thank you. All right. With that, I'll open up to questions from the committee members. Councilor Doucette?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. And I know there's a lot of gratitude in this meeting because I also appreciate you guys coming back and continuing to work at the planning board. Which developments do you see having the biggest issues that face the city right now? I mean, what do you, that's fate that the planning boards, what's the biggest issues now facing the planning board from your perspective?
So I see a couple of issues. One is consistency in recommendations for proposed zoning amendments. I think that's very important. Second, we focus more on the larger tracts of land and things that may be redeveloped in the future. So just looking around at the largest pieces of land that have not been developed yet in the city. And also properties that we think may change in use over time. Distressed properties, things that may have been a great idea back in the 80s, but maybe aren't as profitable that we'll see being redeveloped in the future.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Brown?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I want to echo the thanks for all of the years of service that I feel like, as the mayor had stated, it's incredibly valuable to have people with your years of service on board at this time in our city where there is a lot of growth and development. And I believe everybody has already said just about every sentiment that could be stated. So with that, I would like to move to approve the reappointments to the planning board of Sean Fay, Barbara Fenby, and Christopher Russ for the 5-year terms respectively to expire on February 5th, 2029.
Okay. Motion being made and seconded to approve the reappointments to the planning board for Sean Fay, Barbara Fenby, and Christopher Russ for 5-year terms, respectively, to expire on February 5th, 2029. All those in favor? All those opposed? Oh, sorry. No, you're not on the committee. Sorry, and I should have opened it up for discussion after the motion was proposed. So, Councilor Roby, please.
Thank you. I appreciate the motion. I just wanted to bring up, I believe it was when this was on the council's agenda, there was a comment made about the fact that 3 members are up for reappointment and would expire at the same time. And I just wanted to remind the council, especially the new members, the 3 members sitting in front of you have, as the mayor's letter indicated, been holdover since February of last year. If you take 2023 and go back 5 years, that's 2018, at which time then Mayor Vigent actually sent down appointments for Christopher Russ and Greg Gallagher, Barbara Fenby, Colleen Hughes, Sean Fay, and Philip Hodge, all at the same time, all to be recommended for terms of 5 years, expiring on the first Monday of February at that point in 2023. All of those were eventually approved by the city council. I'd like to just state in one of the letters that the former mayor had commented that he appreciated the professionalism and effort of the planning board members. And I think somewhere between 2018 and 2023, something happened. There was a communication from the mayor to replace Dr. Fenby, which, thank goodness, this council, or last year's council, let die in at the end of the year. So I am very pleased that a recommendation has been made to reappoint these three very hardworking and still very dedicated members of the planning board. And the fact that they all expire at the same time, I think, is irrelevant to their appointments. I certainly am not one who can read the tea leaves for the future, but it's clear that two of the members that I named are no longer on the planning board as of this date, and who knows what can happen between now and 2029. So, thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Wilson. Any other comments from any members of the committee or other councilors who are present? Council President
Chair.
Ossing.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, again, I want to acknowledge the work of the planning board. The discussions I've always had with the planning board have been very professional. Sometimes we don't see eye to eye on everything, but the rationale is laid out in a manner that's well understood. I do want to recognize the planning board for the I call it the details they've undertaken to change the subdivision regs, the flow charts and all this stuff. It's making things a lot easier for, I'd say, non-planning board people to follow how things move through the process. So, you know, Chris, George, well done. I mean, I think that's a huge undertaking, and it's no small task. As a council, we know how hard that is. And last, I want to value your commitment to embrace the variances for the side ordinances. You guys are great, and I really appreciate that. So I endorse the the appointment of the three members.
Great. Thank you, Mr. President. All right. All right. That's it. A motion being made and seconded. All those in favor of the reappointments? All those opposed? Carries 3-0.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor? All those opposed? Carries 3-0. We are adjourned at 6:42.